When the pandemic hit, the biggest mitigation strategy in jails and prisons was releasing inmates early. But as the months dragged on, the trend reversed, and it shows in North Dakota. As Renee Cooper reports, those at the helm of our prisons and jails say this was inevitable, and it's a matter of balancing health and keeping crime at bay.
It's easy to look at something from an ivory tower and say, you know, COVID is real, COVID's a pandemic, why are we putting these people in congregate style housing? Well, if people didn't break the law, we wouldn't be.
Burleigh County Sheriff Kelly Lieben is referring to data from the Prison Policy Initiative that shows North Dakota reduced its jail and prison populations by about 19% by May. But by the fall, that reversed, with a 3% increase just between October 8th and November 19th.
It's true. That report is accurate.
At the lowest point, the Burleigh Morton Detention Center, with a capacity to hold 300 inmates, was down to about 150 to 160. Now, the jail is back up to about 250.
Some of the actions we took early in COVID is now backfiring on us.
Sheriff Lieben tells me the first week of January, officers began arresting people on misdemeanor warrants again after district court halted them early in the pandemic.
Part of the problem with that, though, is we saw an increase in failed to appears, and even when people weren't typically going to jail, our warrant numbers are now through the roof.
It shows in arrest numbers from all 4 law enforcement agencies that use the jail. For Bismarck PD,
in December, they used 458 nights in our jail. In January, they used 1,216, almost 3 times what they used in December. The other side of the coin, though, is this is necessary.
I think it was inevitable.
Dave Krabenhoff, the interim director of the State Department of Corrections, says as the courts reopened, people were getting sentenced to prisons again, and releases slowed down.
Life is slowly inching its way back to normal, and unfortunately, part of normal is, with people having to come to the DOCR.
During the pandemic, on average, the DOCR admits about 30 fewer prisoners a month than before. Not to mention, there are about 125 to 130 people who are sitting in North Dakota jail facilities awaiting transfer to state prisons.
Every 4 weeks, I think, we bring in a scheduled number of people.
Krabenhoff says his biggest worry right now is in the long term. As the courts catch up, he says it could become more difficult to manage prison populations. Reporting for KX News in the capital city, Renee Cooper.
Krabenhoff says prisons could be expecting vaccinations as early as March for inmates and staff. Sheriff Lieben says the jail will be implementing Binax Now rapid testing for incoming inmates very soon.
And now to our